Our student captains for the visiting Panthers are number 2, Toby Robinson, number 2, Hunter Hopkins, number 13, and number 64, Jace Rush. Our student captains for the Broncos are number 6, Chase Webster, number 14, Jorge Lopez, and number 17, Billy Perez. Representing Odessa High School from the class of 1966, Mr. Gary Mosier, Mr. Larry Gatlin, and Mr. Bruce Beavers, who has since passed away. Representing Permian High School, Mr. Glenn Hassel, Mr. Mike Campbell, and Mr. Don Carr, who could not be with us this evening. Standing behind the captains from the Broncos, the 1965 OHS football team. And standing behind the Panther captains, the 1965 Permian Panthers State Champion football team. Thank you, gentlemen, for building a legacy of lasting excellence we still enjoy today.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special night here at Rattler Stadium. We have a very good crowd here with us tonight to watch the crosstown battle between the Broncos of Odessa High and the Panthers of Permian. Tonight is also part of a celebration for a joint 50th graduation celebration for the graduating classes of 1966 at both high schools. And so the captains from the 1965 teams were on the field for the coin toss tonight, representing the Panthers, Mike Campbell and Glenn Hossel. Don Parr was the third captain that year, but he's unavailable. For the Odessa High Broncos, representing them were Gary Mosier and Larry Gatlin. And Bruce Beavers has since passed away. He was the third captain from that team. They joined the captains tonight on the field from the Broncos. Webster, Lopez, and Perez, Rush, Hawkins, and Kobe Robinson were the Permian captains. The coin toss won by Permian. Panthers will be receiving the kickoff. And, boy, we expect a great ball game tonight, so stay with us. Kickoff of Permian and Odessa is coming up.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper. Yeah. You know, as long as it's been college football, there's been Dr. Pepper flowing through the stands.
Hey, man, dig this. I threw the first Hail Mary pass.
Yeah, out of sight. Hey, fellas, I think there should be a college football playoff. Huh? Settle on the gridiron.
You know, nothing goes better in the stands than Dr. Pepper, and I should know because I invented college football. The whole thing. Whoop, whoop.
And that's how Dr. Pepper became a college football tradition.
Cool story, bro.
It's a great story. Let's go, Dr. Pepper, yeah? High five.
And man, that too.
And the kickoff is in the air, and we are underway as Permian will receive the kick, get it out beyond the 20. Going to be out beyond the 25 and out close to the 38-yard line for Permian. Returning the kick, Hunter Wynn, and Permian will take over on offense. So let's get right to it. What's going to happen as far as the keys to the game? We'll start with Permian's offense, what they need to do to win the ball game, I think.
For Permian's offense, Barry, they've got to establish the run, and when they get to their opportunities to throw, they've got to complete and execute the pass better, jump on this OHS defense early for the Bronco defense, stop the run, force some turnovers, make Permian uneasy when they have the ball, and don't give up the big play.
Now Steve Steen, well, they fumble the ball, first play of the game, and they've lost it to the Broncos. Up there to make the fumbled recovery will be Captain Jorge Lopez. So Lopez on a miscommunication between Steen and Williams in the first turnover of the game will go to the red and white.
That's exactly what I said they had to do, was force some turnovers and make this Permian offense uneasy to begin with, and that's exactly what they did. Now for OHS to have a chance tonight offensively, they've got to throw more and test this Permian secondary, get some big plays. Keevy Robinson must be able to get rolling on the ground, and no turnovers themselves and no 3-and-outs. For the Permian defense, shore up their secondary. Don't let Keevy get going. Get some run blitzes going and force Odessa High to throw the football.
Well, that was Lopez's second fumble recovery of the year coming into the night. The Broncos minus 11 in takeaway giveaway. First play of the night is going to be run by...
Looked like that might have been Robinson running the ball there, Barry.
No, it was number 7.
Yeah, on the reverse. Yeah, they tried to reverse it around, and Permian played it very, very well.
So Caulfield gets the first carry of the night, but they lose 5 back to the 37. Going to be a 2nd and 15 now. Going to simply hand it off, I think, to Robinson. Try to get some yardage back. He gets back to the line of scrimmage and brings up a 3rd and 15.
And the Permian defense, led by that middle linebacker, number 35 for the Panthers, that is Herb Anderson on the tackle for very little gain. Actually a loss maybe of another yard or so, making this 3rd and about 14. This is not where the Bronco offense wanted to be.
Well, they don't throw the ball very effectively, but to win the game tonight, they're going to have to do that. Webster's going to throw it. Has a man open here on the left, had some good room to run, but could not connect with him. Falls incomplete. Munoz was the intended target, and now you're in no man's land, but I guess they decide to go ahead and punt.
Yeah, they're going to play field position here and back Permian up, which I think is the right call. He definitely had a man over here on the flat. He could have just set his feet and got the ball to him. He might have been up the sideline for a first down.
So they're going to have to punt the ball away. Been kind of a tough thing for them to do in the last few games. Anastasio will kick it into the end zone. And it'll come out to the 20.
Yeah, they had 2 guys down there, just didn't find the ball to be able to bat it back into play and get Permian deep. It is a touchback, and the Panther offense will start their second series from their own 20-yard line. Now, they can't have those turnovers that have plagued this team at very critical times during the year. We saw that on the first play. They've got to be sound in their handoffs, their reads, and get the ball out on the edge every now and then, see if they can put some pressure on this Bronco defense.
Well, after that turnover on the first play of the game, they are ±0. And that first down play will get them nothing. This series, of course, goes back to when Permian opened their doors in 1959. Permian leads the series, winning 46 of the 58 games. Odessa High has won 10. They tied once. That was in 1980. Between 59 and 96, the Broncos won 4 of them. And since then, it's been pretty much Permian's way, but here of late, the Broncos have been able to be competitive. And the ball back to the running back, and Hammond is going to get only a couple of yards, maybe 3 at the most, and it's going to force a 3rd down play, and seems to be more and more that Hawkins is who we're going to look for him to throw the ball to.
Yeah, that time Charles McClure from his safety position, number 20, read the toss play perfectly, came downhill on the outside gap responsibility, and a couple of other guys helped him get that runner down, setting up this 3rd and long.
Yeah, since 1997, when they broke that long streak, the Broncos have won 6 of the 19 games. They've also won back-to-back games a couple of times. Steen's going to carry the ball here, and Steve Steen's going to be out to the 38-yard line, so he's going to have well more than enough that he needs for a first down, and Permian lives to fight again.
And they did not contain Steen there. He will hurt this Bronco defense with his running ability. We've seen that on the games we've done this year, Barry, even against Midland High, San Angelo. Steve Steen's feet are very good in the run game, and that was a great example of it right there.
Steen coming into the game, 619 yards, averaging 5.5 per carry. This will likely be one of the aberrations, one of the years where Permian does not have a 1,000-yard rusher. Hammond is the recipient of this pass, going to get him 4 out to the 42.
Good tackle out there by Reed Anastasio, number 34, from his outside linebacker position on the little swing pass by the Panther offense. Did a good job of getting out there and setting his feet and making the tackle, but not before almost a 5-yard gain.
Steen, 619 yards coming in. Williams, the sophomore, 5'11", so it's going to be a Herculean effort tonight and against Lee next week for Permian to keep that 1,000-yard rushing streak going. Hawkins on the reception here will have the first down, and he's into Bronco territory at the 48-yard line, so that's going to be a gain of 10.
Here's our Trans Global Productions instant replay. Just a quick wide receiver screen to Hawkins. Broke a couple of tackles right there. And watch Reed Anastasio again, along with number 20 there. Again, that's Charles McClure coming in on the tackle as well, but not before another Panther first down.
Why don't you hit on the Bronco defense after this play? So a first down play for Permian from the Bronco side of the field. We are early in the first quarter. Permian's first possession ended in a first down fumble. Defense held their ground and nothing happened after that. Now this is the second time they've had the ball tonight. And the sophomore Ed Williams will have 11 down to the 36.
And in the starting lineup, as you can see our replay there, the defensive ends are Boy Hernandez and Joseph Chavez. Defensive tackle is Juan Gallegos. The linebackers are Reed Anastasio, Tanner Houston, Oscar Lucio, and Jorge Lopez. The secondary is Cameron Lamone and Aaron Ochoa. The safeties are Colton Beard and Charles McClure.
And McClure, we've already heard a bit tonight. Williams will carry the ball here. Here comes the bunch from the front. That will bring him down, led by, among others. Who else came up? 16, I think it was Lamont that came in also.
And Charles McClure again from his safety position. It's going to be important for the safeties tonight for the Broncos, Barry, to take care of the dive man. If it breaks the line of scrimmage, they've got to be sure and also make the tackle. And if they have to get to the pitch man, take good angles on the option play.
Ed Williams got 5. It's going to be second down. Ed's going to not carry the ball this time. Steen took it back. He's going to get down to the 28, setting up a short 3rd and 2.
And there's Reed Anastasio along with some other Broncos to help out. As you can see on our replay, looked like they almost fumbled that ball again. Look at the bottom of that pile. Oscar Lucio, number 41, making the play as well for the Broncos. Almost fumbled that exchange again. That's what happens when you run the option. That's what this is. This is basically the flex bone from the pistol formation for the Panthers.
They have to get to the 26 for a first. He's going to ask Hammond to do it. Hammond is not going to get the first down because coming up to make the hit and bringing down is going to be Colton Beard, and Permian will need a full 3 yards on 4th down.
This is the toss play. They almost had it blocked on the corner. Give Cameron Lamone and Colton Beard there. Great job of reading that and getting up into the alley and forcing only a 1-yard gain. Permian's going to go for it here, Barry, on 4th and 2.
They are 12 of 18 on 4th downs coming into the ball game. Broncos allowing their opponents 6 successes and 11 tries. This is going to be short, however, as they hand the ball off to Williams. And Ed's going to be down to the 28-yard line. No, they said they got the first down. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they handed it off to Williams, first man through, and they did a good job. Permian did on the right side getting that crease there for Williams to get on up to the 23-yard line, 24-yard line, and a first down.
Yeah, I thought it was the 28, 23, 24 is where they are here. Going to be another run. Going to hand it off inside. Nope, he's going to keep it. Steen will spin out of that first tackle. but is going to be taken down by Beard again, but not before he's down inside the 20 and close to the 19.
Decided to keep the ball there, Barry, because number 54 for the Bronco defense came knifing through there. That's Juan Gallegos. He read it perfectly. I'm talking about Steve Steen, kept the ball, got up just outside the A and B gap, and got a nice 4-yard gain for Permian.
12th play of the drive, second drive of the night for Permian, started back on their 20. After the kickoff, Steen's looking left, has a man open. Will he connect? He does! And Permian is on the board.
Well,
that's Hammond on the reception.
And that's just a little throwback play. You're going to see it here. You saw him come in motion from the top, and he got single coverage on number 20 there for the Broncos, Charles McClure. That's a running back on a safety on a little throwback wheel route. Good throw by Steen, good catch. And the first Panther touchdown of the night is on the board.
Also the first Panther touchdown for the sophomore Hammond in the receiving route this year. He had 1 catch for 9 before that. And it's good. Boy, I tell you, they did a stutter step before he kicked it through, but the kick by Jacob James is good, and Permian is on the board first. 4:23 to play in the first quarter. Permian leads at 7-0.
Texas Burger Ice Cream, the cool end to a great meal.
Tonight's Trans Global Productions and Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Odessa College and by Hokenthorpe CPAs. So Permian's on the board first with a 19-yard pass from Steve Steen to his wide receiver, Justin Hammond. Hammond's first varsity touchdown. By the reception route, he had 1 running the ball, but this one actually had a couple of touchdowns running the ball. This is a 19-yard pass, capping a 12-play drive, 6 minutes, 8 seconds, 80 yards is what it took him to go the route for Permian. That's the 10th passing touchdown of the season. That's our 44th also. So they've been a potent offense, and Kyle even missing a couple of big-time players in Brother Miller and Kobe Robinson. They still have enough skill guys on offense to make it click.
And a good execution there by the Panther offense. Now the Odessa High Bronco offense has got to respond on this drive here. And they're going to get some, I thought maybe some goal. That ball's out.
No, he was on the ground.
Yeah, they're going to call him down. Going to get the ball at about the 23. Let's do our referees right quick, Barry. The head referee is Chuck Alderson. The umpire is Ralph Santana. Head linesman is Roy Jaramillo. The line judge is Gary Speed. And the back judge is Jesse Mendoza. This is a Permian Basin chapter officiating crew.
On the other hand, the Broncos have had some trouble defensively. That's the 56th touchdown they've given up. And their 19th touchdown pass an opponent has racked up against them. So now trailing 7-0, the Broncos will start from their 23-yard line, trying to ride the heels and the legs of Keevy Robinson. Doesn't go there anywhere that time as he runs into the Permian defense, and the linebacker Anderson drops him for a loss.
Shy Arnold from the defensive end position here, Barry, watching him defeat the block, get a hold of the jersey, and get some help from Anderson to make that loss of about 4 yards on first down for the Broncos. Good play by the Panther defensive front three.
Yeah, I said Anderson, but really it was Arnold that made the play. Anderson just kind of swept up at the end of the play. Now Webster's going to be tossed into a throwing position. He likes to throw the ball to Caulfield if he can. This one, however, is going to be across the field and going to get some good yardage up to the 27-yard line as Zay Brown will come up and make the catch.
And that's just a quick slant. Here's the replay, Barry. Our Trans Global Productions instant replay. Little quick slant right there in front of the corner. Number 5, Christian Schauner, does end up helping to make the tackle, but not before. A pretty decent gain, and we had a penalty on the play.
Personal foul, number 55 defense, late hit. Be a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And you heard Chuck Alderson make the call there, a 15-yard personal foul late hit on number 55 for the Panthers. That's Matt Jones. Going to move that ball up to the 44-yard line and an automatic first down for the Bronco offense.
That catch was Zay Brown's 6th of the season, had 5 for 52 as we entered play tonight. Now a quick pass. Brought the ball back from Robinson. Again, tried to hit Zay again, but falls incomplete, brings up a second.
Tyson Banks from his outside linebacker position read the quick screen, got out there. I think the young man might have heard some footsteps coming from Tyson and decided better maybe not to make the play because he knew he was fixing to get hit for no gain or no incompletion and a 2nd and 10 for the Bronco offense.
That was his 9th catch, let me correct myself. So Webster will keep it here, had no choice. Anderson came in and hit him initially, but also was helped along by Orion Farley, who kind of put the clamps on him and didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I think.
Let's take an injury timeout. Be back in just a moment.
Ready for the best deal ever from Cable One? For a limited time, $25 gets you 100 megs. Really, $25? That's half price on high-speed internet. We've never offered you so much for so little. So call Cable One at 855-740-8971. 100 megs means reliable Wi-Fi and the best streaming on all your devices, all for just $25. But this half-price deal ends soon. So call and switch today. Cable One, the face of fast.
Your new Texas Burger is now open at 191 in Fodry in Odessa.
Okay. Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Diamond Pump and Transport, Paul Evans Carpets. Defensively in the ball game is Emilio Orhez at the nose tackle position. Number 43 as they will attend to Rand. You know, the coaching group over at Odessa High over the years versus Permian, beginning back in 1959, as you would guess by that long win streak by the Panthers. Broncos coaches have had some struggles. In fact, Watkins, Means, Winder, Ferris, and Taylor, all of them in 19 games didn't win a single crosstown rivalry against the Panthers. In fact, one of the Permian coaches on the defensive staff, Ron King, won 3 of his 10 battles with the Panthers. He leads the coaching ranks. Scott Phillips and Bradley Mills each won 2 games against Permian. Lacey Turner, Randy Quisenberry, Bill Barron all won a game, and then Millsaps had the tie in 1980. But by and large, it's been a tough row to hoe when the Panthers have gotten together with the Broncos.
Nice punt, good hang. Gives your punt team a chance to get down there. Flag comes in late from the far side. This might be a face mask penalty, possibly. We'll see where the
block in the back.
Oh.
Offense.
Now they're going to
Receiving team, number 5. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So it was a block in the back.
On the other hand, Dawson, now this is the Permian side versus Odessa High. Dawson won 2 of his 3. Jim Cashin is the only Permian coach in Permian Odessa High history to have not won more than he lost against the Broncos. His record was 1-2. Mayfield and Bartosz went 8-0. John Wilkins 12-0-1. Gaines 6-2. Hollingshead 3-1. Mays 5-1. Mills 3-0. Smith, Allman, and Felt all together 6-3. So, pretty much when Permian and Odessa High get together, the Panthers have had their way with things for a long time.
And that 32-game win streak, as you said, does help in that matter with those records. But Odessa High has held their own with some of those contests in the last 10 years or so.
Yeah, when Quisenberry took over the program and they beat Permian in '97 after that long losing streak, they've had a little bit more success since then. Williams is on the move, and Ed Williams is going to be down inside the 30, close to the 40-yard line, so they're going to mark him. So he goes from the Permian 24 for a 36-yard run down to the 40.
Inside dive or handoff to Williams, broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage, and you can see he was off to the races before Jorge Lopez makes the play, but not before a Panther first down at the Bronco 40-yard line.
That's the longest run of the year for him. He had a 26-yarder earlier in the year. Now Steen's going to throw it. Looking to the right. Has a man open. Down there by himself. Has the ball. Ran out, I think, at the 1-yard line.
Yep, that's number 3 on the catch there.
That's one of them Robinson boys.
Yes, it is, and that's a perfect throw on our Transglobal Productions instant replay. Good protection. Steve just lays the ball out over his outside shoulder where only his man Robinson can get it. Single coverage, steps out of bounds at the 2-yard line, and the Panthers are knocking on the Bronco goal line door again.
So that's a 28-yard pass and catch and run from Steen to Todrick Robinson. That's Todrick's first reception this season. Now they're going to hand the ball to Williams, and Williams is going to barrel his way into the end zone as he has done so many times this season. And Permian now will jump out to a 13-0 lead.
Yeah, just won the battle at the line of scrimmage, Barry. And Williams had to just tiptoe his way through the middle of the Panther offensive line between the center and the 2 guards. And Permian is back on the board with another 6 points.
The 8th rushing TD of the season for Ed Williams. Now the extra point by Jacob James to come. James 83%. Coming into tonight, we'll put that one on the board, and Permian has their 14th point of the night. Only 48 seconds to play in the first quarter. Permian 2 scores, the Broncos nothing, so it's 14-0 with the rest of the first quarter coming up.
As a busy mom, I'm always all over Odessa. Lucky for me, so is Medical Center Health System. So when the kids needed flu shots and sports physicals, the clinic at Walmart was my first stop. Then Mr. Fix-It hit his thumb with a hammer last weekend. Fortunately, urgent care was close by. The big baby. And it's nice to know that Family Health Clinic is always there with quality care and flexible pricing. Whenever I need them, wherever I am, Medical Center Health System has my family covered. They're my one source for health.
During the National Flooring Sales Event at Paul Evans Carpet and Flooring, you can get beautiful new floors for your home today and have 36 interest-free months to pay. 36 months with no interest on beautiful new carpeting, hardwood, tile, and luxury vinyl is the best and biggest deal Paul Evans has ever offered. Hurry to Paul Evans Carpet and Flooring today, because when October ends, so does this incredible deal. Paul Evans Carpet and Flooring, under the huge Texas flag in downtown Odessa.
Well, 2 huge plays by Permian. One a run from the 24 to the 40. The other a pass from the 40 to the 2. The first by Ed Williams. The second on a reception by Todrick Robinson. And then Williams got the capper from 2 yards out a moment later. 80-yard drive, minute 8 seconds, 4 plays. This Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by both the booster clubs at Permian and Odessa High. So, boy, ran into a wall there, didn't he?
Yes,
out
he
to
did.
the 21-yard line. That's where the Broncos will be back on offense. Permian, 4 of 4 throwing the ball for Steen with a TD, 2 TDs actually. Williams, 6 carries, 59 yards. He has 1 touchdown throwing the ball, and then, of course, the run by Williams is the second one.
Caden Horrell, number 39 for the Panthers, down on their kickoff team to make the play.
Isn't that one of the sophomores?
Yes, it is. He is a sophomore on the team, playing on their special teams. Did a great job of staying in his lane, breaking down and making the tackle right there.
And with all the injury situations that Permian suffered through this year, including not having the availability of Brother nor Kobe Robinson, they've had to use a whole lot of sophomores, and he's just one of them. So Zay Brown will catch this one in front of the linebacker Banks, only for a yard gain.
He did not catch that, Barry. It was out of bounds.
I'll take it back. He did.
Yeah, but Tyson Banks.
That's what that means, huh?
Yeah, Tyson Banks had good coverage there. Ball was delivered just a little bit late from Chase right there. If he'd thrown it earlier, I think they might have completed that for about a 3 or 4 yard gain.
Well, Chase has had some growing pains this year, completing 32% of his passes. Going to need to get that average up tonight to give his guys a chance. Going to hand this ball off to Keevy Robinson, who's going to be out to the 30 and bring up a 3rd and 2.
Number 55, Matt Jones on the tackle. Watch him here on our replay. He's going to come in from his outside linebacker position, scraping down. Gets a hold of Robinson and makes the play, but not before about a 7 or 8 yard gain. Good running by Keevy there. Good blocking by that Bronco offensive line. 3rd and 2 now. Let's see what they dial up here, Barry.
Julian Galindo in the backfield, along with Robinson. He's number 12. Keevy's number 21. Quarterback, of course, is Webster, number 6. Is a flag on the play? No, that's the end of the quarter. So we have played 1 quarter here at Ratliff Stadium. Good night for football. Just a good night weather-wise. We've got a good crowd with us, and Permian has jumped out to a 14-0 first quarter lead.
I am so proud of you. Mom, we can't forget roses.
Oh, you're right.
When it comes to great food and good times, make it Rose's Cafe. For over 30 years, we've been a part of those special moments in life with fresh and delicious comfort food, Rose's style. After all, life is better with Rose's Cafe.
Medical Center Hospital, Nimbus Drinking Water Systems are 2 of our sponsors. Thank you for making these Transglobal production and Dr. Pepper games of the week possible. So the Broncos will be facing a 3rd and a short 2. Rand, by the way, has come back on the field for Permian. And he stuffs the middle there, and then one of his other mates comes up to make the tackle. That's going to be the linebacker, Anderson. That grabs a hold of Robinson and clicks the heels together, but they do not end up in Kansas. It's going to be a 4th down and 2 coming up, and the Broncos again with Anastasio will have to kick the ball away.
And the penetration by the inside or interior line of Permian forced that running back Robinson up inside where Anderson did make the play. That's how the 3-4 defense works to perfection right there.
That it did do.
That Herb Anderson's something, isn't he?
He is. I mean, he was a running back. In fact, he was the heir apparent to be the starting running back when the season started. Garza and Ed Williams were 2nd and 3rd team. But they noticed very early on, first game, they needed some help on defense, and so they shifted him over. Garza took over the duties with Williams helping out, and then Garza was no longer available to play, and so it's been Ed Williams' show since then, and Ed, the sophomore, has done a pretty darn good job.
He's done a very good job, and Herb Anderson has done a good job of filling in and being an inside linebacker in that defense for Permian.
And really, I think he and Tyson Banks, who came on to play as well, those 2 guys have really solidified that defensive linebacking core.
And Tyson, little special to me, as I've said here on a couple of our telecasts, because Tyson started with me as a 7th grader at what is now Wilson and Young Medal of Honor Middle School.
Now watch him grab a hold of Robinson's ankles. I mean, just as he's about ready to break loose, they get him on the ground.
They don't get him there. Williams is off to the races again.
So now they'll start from the 38. The gain was 6. So it's going to be 2nd and 4, and that play doesn't go much of anywhere.
Nice field by number 32 there for the Broncos. Albert Garza watching Phil right there in the A gap and did a really nice job of stopping Williams right in his tracks for really only about a 1 or 2 yard gain. I thought that might be a little generous in that 1 or 2 yard gain, but boy, he filled the hole very, very well for the Broncos there.
Campbell Terry has come in, but look for Steen probably to keep it here. They need a couple of yards for a first down. Nope, he hands it off to Williams. Williams will have the first as he's out to the 45-yard line.
And when I said generous on the play before, that was generous on my part because I kind of thought he wasn't that far up, and it was actually right where it needed to be. But on that play, Williams found a gap off the right side, kept his feet moving, and got a Panther first down at their own 44-yard line. Bronco defense needs to step up here, Barry, and stop them, get the ball back to the Bronco offense themselves.
So Steen will throw the ball, looking right, looking deep, has a man down the sideline, running one-on-one with the defender, and good job by the defender to keep the receiver away from the ball. Hawkins was the intended target. Aaron Ochoa, who had the pick for the pick six last week at Wolfworth Friendship, was running side by side with him, and it falls incomplete.
And he was running step for step, single man-to-man, one-on-one coverage. Great job by Aaron right there to not give the receiver any chance of getting to that ball.
That was a 56-yard pick six last week at Wolfworth by Ochoa. Now they hand the ball off to Williams, who will get maybe 3, possibly 4. Again, they had him by the ankle, and they weren't letting go. Up there to make the tackle, I think, was Lucio.
That was Albert Garza, number 32, hanging on for dear life down at the bottom, but he did a great job of getting Williams down on the ground, making this a 3rd and 7, now or 6. This is where the Bronco defense needs to step up here and make a play and get a force Permian to punt the football.
So Permian will likely throw the ball. They need to get to the Bronco 46-yard line for a first. Hammond and Wynn are here on the left-hand side. Robinson and Hawkins at the top of the screen. Going to be maybe a half a yard short, depends on where his knee hit. Well, it looks like they're going to give him the...
Going to be about a half a yard.
Yep, going to be about, you're right, going to be a full yard. No, full yard. Going to be at the 47. They have to get to the 46, and I would guess you're going to go for it here.
Yeah, they decided to run the dive there, and they just got it blocked up front. And if a shoestring tackle doesn't happen, this play doesn't happen right now.
A lot of shoestring tackles are saving the Broncos' bunions so far tonight, as the Permian skill guys have just been a hair's breadth from breaking big plays. They did break a couple of big plays, passing game and running game, and now Williams will have the first. Brought down for the tackle by the linebacker, Reed Anastasio, senior, playing in his final Permian Odessa game, but it'll be first down Permian as he gets up to the 39.
And Odessa Highbury right now is running a 5-man front, really with 2 linebackers. They feel like they need to win the job or win the line of scrimmage, and that is not happening right now. As we've got a stoppage of play. Permian's going to call a timeout here.
Well, the Broncos have had trouble in the second quarter. That's their big bugaboo, 145 points given up in the second quarter till now, but Permian has been kept off the board so far. 7:54 to play in the second before halftime. Permian 14, Broncos nothing.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper. Yeah. You know, as long as it's been college football, there's been Dr. Pepper flowing through the stands.
Hey, man, dig this. I threw the first Hail Mary pass. Yeah, out of sight. Hey, fellas, I think there should be a college football playoff. Huh? Settle on the gridiron. You know, nothing goes better in the stands than Dr. Pepper, and I should know because I invented college football. The whole thing. Whoop, whoop.
And that's how Dr. Pepper became a college football tradition.
Good story, bro.
It's a great story. Let's go, Dr. Pepper, here. High five. I invented that, too.
Cable One and E&E Service and Supply, 2 of our Trans-Global Productions, Dr. Pepper Game of the Week sponsors. Well, apparently the timeout came about because something Coach Felt didn't like. Going to snip the ball here. Looking for a receiver deep. There's nobody open. May have to tuck it and run. Well, he can't make his mind up, and now he's going to have it made up for him as the Broncos come back there to make the tackle, make the sack. And Permian has a big loss staring him in the face as Houston came up to make the tackle.
Here's our instant replay, our Trans Global Productions instant replay. Good job by the Panther offensive line. And let's give the Broncos secondary and linebackers kudos for being in great coverage. Nobody open, and Steve had to end up eating the balls. We have an injury timeout on the field.
Are you sure we should take this billboard down?
People find out State Farm does car loans as well as they do insurance. Our bank is through.
Good point. Grab an edge.
Look, there's two guys on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
No, for real, there's two dudes on the State Farm
Borrow Better banking sign.
Gentlemen, please get down from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign. Phil, get the hose.
Okay, he's getting the hose.
All right, let's go.
Want to borrow better? Contact State Farm agent Mike Podzemny about a car loan that can save you hundreds.
Forest Tire has kept you rolling since 1944 with 3 generations of ownership and 4 generations of management. Forest Tire carries the complete lines of Michelin and BFGoodrich car and light truck tires. And Forest offers more than just tires. Be it brakes, alignments, or shocks, your vehicle's best friend is Forest Tire. With 24-hour road service, you can count on Forest Tire for all your tire and automotive needs. Forest Tire, 8 locations in West Texas and southeastern New Mexico.
Tanner Houston's second sack of the season puts Permian 8 yards back further and will force up a second down and 18. Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by the folks at State Farm Insurance Agent Mike Podzemny's office and Paving Pro. So now facing a second down and a bunch, they're going to have third and a bunch more.
Well, this is a blown assignment. If you watch right here, number 3, Robinson should have gotten that guy right there, and he didn't ever pick him up, and that's just a great job right there by the Bronco defender to really force this into a third and long. You're not going to see anything fancy here. They're going to probably play it very conservative and try to get some field position and probably punt this ball deep into to the Broncos deep in their own territory.
Yeah, they lost 14 on the last 2 plays, but heck, they had a 40-yard pass play earlier, so why not try it again?
Right.
Well, that's why.
Well, they brought the house, Barry. They blitzed right here on third and long, and you can see on the outside right here, they just brought pressure. Permian couldn't get it taken care of. Great job by the Bronco defense, and Permian has lost a ton of yards within the last 3 plays, as you mentioned now, counting that third down sack.
23 yards lost on those 3 plays, and now the Panthers will have to kick the ball away. Who'd you give the sack to? Lucio?
I think it was Lucio. His number, somebody coming off the edge. Joseph Chavez was there as well.
Yeah, Lucio's second sack of the season. Now the punt's going to drop him back to the 20. Couldn't regain his momentum as Caulfield is going to be brought down there. And the Panthers leading 14-0, 5:55. There's 3 5s for you. Go to Vegas, going to be pushed them back to the 18. Broncos will be back on the offense there. Man, those last 3 plays just went backwards, but that's a credit to the Bronco defense.
It is, and they played very well, made some things happen after giving up a couple of first downs, and got the ball back to this offense. The offense needs to put a drive together now, Barry, and get in the end zone and put momentum back on the side of red and white.
That was an 11-play drive and a 23-yard loss in those 3 consecutive plays. Bronco defense stepped it up, and the Panthers had to punt, and now we start from the 18. Going to throw it instead of run it. Looks like Webster's going to keep it, and Webster just runs into a wall that doesn't move. And coming up off the bottom of the pile.
That's Rand. Watch Rand.
Well, it's Rand. It's also Tanner Adams.
Yep. 47 doing a great job.
they're like, you do it to our guy, we're going to do it to yours.
Yeah, Chase might wanted to give that ball there after watching that because Rand and Adams just shut that down for a 1-yard loss.
So back to the 16 they go, and after that 1-yard loss, it's going to be second and about 11. Webster has a man open, but again, Zay Brown's going to catch it. No, it's incomplete, and it would have only been a yard gain. I was looking a moment ago. Webster averages 10.3 per completion, but he averages only 3.3 per attempt, and that's why we see these short passes. I mean, he's only throwing the ball a yard or so beyond the line of scrimmage.
Tyson Banks on the coverage again out in the flat. did a good job of just making sure that tackle was fixing to happen, causing the Bronco receiver not to catch the ball.
Watch out for Caulfield. That's who catches the ball there. Caulfield's going to be to the 25-yard line. He's going to be well short of what he needs for a first, as Permian peeled back in a hurry with Ellison and others to make the tackle. So they advance the ball about 9 yards, but not near what they need. And again, Anastasio will have to kick it.
A 3 and out by the Panther defense. That's exactly what they wanted there. Not let this Bronco offense get any momentum at all and force them to turn the ball over on downs via the punt. Permian should get pretty decent field position here.
Well, the second quarter is by far Permian's best offensively. The first and third quarters, they are at 56 and 55 points. In the fourth quarter, they've scored 83, but in the second, Permian has 109 points on the board, but they have nothing here tonight against the Bronco defense. So with 4.5 to play, before halftime, we'll get a chance to see both bands, by the way. Then Permian's going to have one more shot at it offensively.
And the halftime show is going to be very, very entertaining to watch, because both bands at the UIL contest last week got ones, and they're in the area marching contest here tomorrow. So that both bands have an excellent show. Did very well last week in the marching contest, and stick around and watch that, folks. It's really, really good.
Hammond and Winter here on the left-hand side. That means Hawkins is going to be at the top right, probably with Roderick, who will help block for him. There's a rush out with him. But Robinson just outranned everyone for a 12-yard gain out beyond midfield to the 48-yard line.
Good blocking up front by the Panther front, or Panther offensive line. Charles McClure has to make the tackle in the secondary, which is not a good thing for them.
Yeah, now how many times have you said his name?
Well, 4. I've got officially 4 already, and that's probably missing one here or there. McClure's been very busy, but that means if he's having to make the tackle, Permian's winning the line of scrimmage.
They're down to the 43-yard line. After that run by Williams, this one gets snuffed out pretty quickly. He's going to get to the 39, so it's really a manageable game of about 5.
Joseph Chavez, the defensive end, making the play on Williams there, but look at what's happening on first down, Barry. They're getting 3 to 4 yards a chunk when they want to run the ball, and that's eating up time and wearing this Bronco defense down.
That's a 4-yard gain, not a 5, so it's going to be 2nd and 6. Again, they're going to turn loose the sophomore, who's going to be brought down after a gain of near the first down, not quite what they need. Houston made the tackle about a yard short, so 3rd and 1.
And if you look at that replay there, Barry, the 5-man front by OHS is getting blocked, and the outside linebackers are having to make those tackles up the field 4 or 5 yards down the field, I should say.
Bronco opponents have been getting first downs at a 48% clip, and Permian's going to pick up another one here as Steve Steen keeps it. It's going to be down to the 19-yard line for a big gain of 20.
Missed a tackle at the line of scrimmage there from Tanner Houston. Had a chance to make the play, and you can see as Steve gets on down the field, the secondary of the Broncos are having to make the tackle again, but not before a first down at the Bronco 19-yard line.
And off inside. No, Steen kept it. Steen's going to be down to the 13-yard line. Tackle there. The initial hit was hit on him by C.J. Washington.
Mason Sellers in the game for OHS to make the play, number 31. So you can see Steve just decided to make the read, keep the ball, get outside, got about 6 yards on first down. And now they're going to stretch the Odessa High defense out, see if they come back in the middle here.
And they'll watch out, see if he wants to throw the ball. He's got Hawkins at the top. Instead, he pitches it out to Hammond. Hammond's going to work his way inside. Going to be some slow going, but he's going to be within a yard of the first down, as they're going to get him at the 10. Need to get down to the 9. So just a good job by Justin Hammond to pick his way through that defense and get what he could.
Juan Gallegos, the nose tackle, coming down the line of scrimmage flat to make the play, but not before this. It makes it 3rd and 1.
Yeah, it's going to be just about a half a yard needed. Steen's going to keep it. Steen may get in the end zone. Steen will score from 10 yards out, and Permian is back on the board one more time with Steen's 13th rushing touchdown of the season.
Watch the read. The end came down and crashed inside. That's why Steve Steen kept the ball and went outside, missed a tackle out on the edge, the Broncos did, and Steve Steen just found a way to get into the end zone for the third Panther touchdown of the night.
Down to the 125 mark of the second quarter before halftime. Steen, 15 rushes for 100. No, I'm sorry, Williams, 15 rushes for 109 yards and a score tonight. Steve Steen has run the ball for 33 yards on 8 tries. And Permian, after the extra point from Jacob James, will increase their lead to 21-0 with 1:25 before halftime.
E&E Service and Supply is your leader in well service supplies and rig packages. We manufacture oil savers, rod transfers, rod strippers, pipe wiper blocks, weight indicators and pads, rope sockets, drop valves, guy line blocks, swab mandrels, fishing tools, slip cylinders for Advance, BJ, and Giberson, and a whole lot more. Please come by E&E Service and Supply at 3501 Brazos.
Does your truck or pipe yard surface look like this? I think it's time to call Paving Pro. Stop driving around in circles trying to avoid potholes. Call the professionals at Paving Pro. They'll have you a smooth surface in no time. And best of all, a smoother surface can limit the wear and tear on your equipment, keeping damage made by a rough surface with potholes at a minimum. Thanks, Paving Pro. Call Paving Pro for all your driveway and parking lot needs.
The Permian Basin area-wide phone book and Texas Burger, two of our sponsors tonight on the Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week. Steve Steen was held out of the end zone in that first game this year against Austin Vandergrift. He has scored by the rush every game since, 3 against Franklin. He had 3 also against Midland High. A couple of games with 1 or 2 scores, and he's in the end zone for the first time tonight on that 10-yard run to cap a 7-play, 55-yard drive in 3:05. And the extra point by James has the Panthers up 21-0. And kicking off, the Broncos will start again at the 19.
And Permian right now, Barry, is just the more physical of the group. Right now, you can talk special teams, you can talk offense, defense. They are winning the war up front and in the physicality. Odessa High has 3 timeouts now with 1:19. Let's see if they can put some plays together, maybe a little pressure on this Panther defense and get some points before the half. And they also start the half with the ball. I'm talking about the second half. So if they could get 7 to 10 points in those 2 possessions, they're back in the game.
So they have brought Trey Smith in to run the offense. This time around, Larry points out, Smith will try to throw the ball to start with. He has a receiver. Got a face mask there if they call it. And going to be out beyond the 41-yard line as the catch was made to Julian Galendo, the running back. And Julian Galendo will be out to the 31. Did I see a face mask?
Well, let's see. Here's the replay. Let's see if he got it. Well, actually, just got his neck, Barry.
Okay.
Just got his neck and a little bit of the jersey. Good call down here by the official to not call that, but a good first down pass for the Broncos.
Galendo's 4th reception of the season. Smith will try to find another receiver here, but throws it just a bit too tall for his receiver. It's going to be incomplete.
And I think we got a penalty.
Foul. Hands to the face mask. 51 defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's a big penalty, Barry, because they had an incompletion there. Going to make it 2nd and 10. Hands to the face. On the Panther defense, number 51 right there. That's Orion Farley. And officials saw that. Going to give them 15 yards and a first down to the Odessa High 46-yard line now with 54 seconds. Clock is stopped until they get things set. And then they will continue here.
Tony Carrasco, the single back in the backfield instead of Robinson. So it's Smith and Carrasco. Or the twosome. We have wide receivers on either side, 2 and 2. Going to throw the ball again and had a man open, but just zips it past the face and head and mask of of Zay Brown. Going to be second down.
Yeah, and the clock was stopped on the play due to the incomplete pass.
Now Smith has got some zip to that ball.
Yeah, and he's not holding on to it as long as Chase Webster did. They're trying to get the ball out of his hands a little quicker and see if they can hit something in open space and let the receiver make some moves and some yards here.
He certainly has a better release. Larry's pointed out he plants a foot and lets the ball go. Let's see if he does it again. Caulfield is who is going to throw it. No, it's not going to be Caulfield. It's going to be Galindo rather. So Galindo has been split out, the sophomore. These last couple of plays, it's only going to be a 2-yard gain and bring up 3rd and 8.
Christian Schauner on the tackle there just got the guy out of bounds, which is okay. Didn't pick up but about 2 yards, making this 3rd and about 7 or 8 for the Bronco offense. Panthers just playing zone, going to keep everything in front of them.
So 3rd and 8 facing the Broncos. Going to throw it again. Smith dropping back. Here's a lot of pressure. Going to have to run it. Going to be down to the 40-yard line. And that's going to be well enough for the first as he picks up yardage down to the Permian 40.
And Bronco coaching staff wanted a late hit over here on and out of bounds. I don't think it happened, and the referee's explaining that to Coach Servants that the initial hit was going to be made as he's going out of bounds. But this is a good run right here by the quarterback. Didn't see anything open. And as you can see, just going to make the tackle there as he gets out of bounds. But not before a Bronco first down at the 40-yard line.
Smith had 17 carries for 36 yards before running that one. Looking to the right, has a man open. Did they complete the pass? Looks like they did. Congratulations in order on the sideline as Jacob Munoz will make the catch, number 89.
That's the out route by the receiver right there. Panthers playing a soft zone right now, not going to get beat deep. Going to keep everything in front of them and gather to the ball as it's being thrown or caught.
Munoz, 7th reception of the season, had 6 for 122 before. What do you see?
I see just a little soft outside there. Going to keep everything, as I said, in front of them. And that pass was broken up on the catch there. Good job by the Panther defense.
Yeah, more so because Galindo had the ball in his grip and grasp, but they couldn't complete it. Would have been enough for the first down, but now we'll bring it up a 3rd and 5.
Matt Jones, number 55, on the coverage there for the Panthers from his outside linebacker position, causing that incompletion. It's 3rd and 1. You don't have to go to the end zone here. You can get a first down, call a timeout, and see if you can get in the end zone before the half.
Yeah, definitely not 3rd and 5, but 3rd and 1. Going to hand the ball off inside to the running back, Carrasco. Did not play in that game against Wolford Friendship last week due to injury. So it's going to be a first down play down to the 28-yard line, and a timeout is taken by the Broncos. So 22 seconds is all we have left before half. Panthers lead at 21-0, but the Broncos are making their first foray into Panther territory tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to stick around for halftime.
Lifestyle, your mobility, can greatly affect your way of life. At Odessa Regional Medical Center, our orthopedic team is dedicated to get you back to the things you enjoy most. For Robert, 2 successful shoulder surgeries allowed him to rope again. And now, he is back in the saddle. At ORMC, we want to help you return to the things that matter. We love what we do, and we think it shows.
I am ORMC proud.
Enjoy a Texas Burger chicken strip dinner today.
I'd like to thank Openthorpe CPAs and Odessa College, 2 of our sponsors tonight. The Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week. Now, if I were to ask your opinion, you had the offensive cap on, you would say what?
Throw the ball in the middle of the field. If it's there, you don't have to be greedy here and throw it in the end zone, though you do have more space. You've got 22 seconds and 2 timeouts, plenty of time to finish this drive off with some points.
I'm going to look for Caulfield. That's where I think he may be trying to hit the ball. That is the guy he targets, and Caulfield's going to have it down to the 17-yard line. A little slow to get up, but it is enough to move the chains. We're down to, 15 seconds. Both teams have a couple of timeouts, and Odessa decides to clock it. Now 14 seconds left.
They're going to run the clock? I thought he threw it incomplete there.
Well, so do I. Down to
spiked the ball.
Spiked the
OHS.
And I think Coach Servance is going to say, we spiked the ball. What are you doing? Well, we'll talk about it. We'll tell you the result of that very calm and quiet conversation in just a moment. Only 10 seconds left before halftime, but the Broncos are threatening.
Diamond Pump and Transport LLC specializes in oil field transportation. We are locally owned and operated and do business in the Permian Basin and West Texas areas. We also provide hot oil service, acid pumping, water hauling, tank cleaning, and other types of oil field transport and hauling services. We invite you to call us today. Diamond Pump and Transport LLC, 432-617-8084.
Enjoy the best cheeseburger in town at Texas Burger.
Well, they have decided to put 14 seconds back on the clock because Trey Smith did clock it, and for some reason the referee chose to start the clock up inadvertently, so they've added 4 seconds back.
And
so
those
now
guys got it right, Barry. They got it absolutely right.
So they talked to both Coach Servance and Coach Felt, and now 14 seconds remain. 17 seconds out of the end zone. Smith tries to get the ball into his receiver. No flag at all as they try to get the ball to Zay Brown. And going to be a second down play.
They had good coverage by Preston Ellison. I'm talking about Permian there on that pass. It was way high. Everybody was covered. And so just threw it away and allowed the Broncos to live another day or another play here.
Now, shouldn't this be third down?
Should be third down.
Yes, it's second down there and on the board. It should be third down because he clocked it on first down. Now Smith will try to get the ball over the middle, does not connect with anybody. Try to get the ball again to Galindo, and it will bring about what I think is a fourth down play.
Yep. Herb Anderson had good coverage there from his middle linebacker or inside linebacker position in Permian's 3-4 defense. Had good coverage on the slot receiver, and just ball went incomplete. And they're still saying it's 3rd and 10, so that's what we're going to go with, Barry.
Yep. How many times? We've got 8 seconds on the game clock.
And a timeout, so you don't, again, have to force things here, but you can't hold the ball here and let that time go off.
Here comes the pressure, and he is not going to escape, and that could be the end of it. Down to 3 seconds. If they can get it called, they'll get a chance to get Ulysses onto the ground, onto the field to try the field goal attempt.
Well, Tyson Banks came on an outside blitz there, got to the quarterback, and as you saw, sacked him there for a loss, and OHS is going to take their 3rd and final timeout and talk about what they want to do here.
As a busy mom, I'm always all over Odessa. Lucky for me, so is Medical Center Health System. So when the kids needed flu shots and sports physicals, the clinic at Walmart was my first stop. Then Mr. Fix-It hit his thumb with a hammer last weekend. Fortunately, urgent care was close by. The big baby. And it's nice to know that Family Health Clinic is always there with quality care and flexible pricing. Whenever I need them, wherever I am, Medical Center Health System has my family covered. They're my one source for health.
Well, we're being told that the reason for the down discrepancy between what we thought and what was happening on the field was that rather than clocking on first down, Coach Servance had called a timeout in advance of that, so that play did not count. And so now this is a 4th down attempt. It'll be a 42-yard field goal attempt for Ulysses Gutierrez. His only kick of the season was a 25-yarder against Lee. So this will be a season best of 42, should he be able to put it through the uprights and get the Broncos on the board. On the field for the all-important hold for the Broncos is Conrad Martinez.
Short and left.
Well, it is short and left is correct. So Ulysses' kick goes wide left, and the Broncos did not get on the board as time ran out. So at the end of one half of play, just a beautiful night for football and a fun football game for sure. Panthers are leading this one by 21-0. Now we invite you to stay tuned for both bands in the halftime show presented by Rosa's Cafe and Tortilla Factory and by MyTV 16.
When it comes to great food and good times, make it Rosa's Cafe. We've been making memories and friendships with fresh and delicious comfort food, Rosa style, for over 30 years. After all, life is better with Rosa's Cafe.
A very exciting first half. Panthers lead it by 21-0. Thanks to a Steen to Hammond pass of 19, a Williams run of 2 and a Steen run of 10. And the statistics, I'm sure, bear out the score as well, huh, Kyle?
They really do, Barry. It's the statistics match up with what the score is, absolutely. Permian's total yardage Odessa High's total yardage in the first half, 58 yards. 4 yards rushing, 54 yards passing. Keevy Robinson actually leads with 12 yards on 5 carries, but some sacks by Chase Webster in that first half brought the rushing total down. Webster himself in the first half passing 2 of 6 for 20 yards. And the other Bronco quarterback coming in, number 4 there, Trey Smith, was 4 of 8 for 34 yards. Permian, on the other hand, 210 yards of total offense in the first half, led by Ed Williams' 15 carries for 109 yards and a touchdown. Steve Steen also has a touchdown running and throwing in the first half, 8 carries for 33 yards. He was also 4 of 5 passing for 72. 1 touchdown, and one of those went to Justin Hammond, number 20. He had 2 catches in the first half for 24 yards and that throwback touchdown. And Todrick Robinson also had 1 catch for 38 yards. First downs 11 to 7 in favor of Permian as well. So Permian dominated in most part, Barry, the line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball, getting those 3 touchdowns and setting the tone early. Odessa High did put a drive together right at the end of the first half, just came up short, and the 42-yard field goal came up short and left as well. And the Broncos will start this half, Barry, receiving, going from north to south.
The Broncos had the ball for the last minute, 19 seconds of the first half, an 11-play drive that started to their 19, ran down to the Permian 17 before the sack pushed him back to the 25, and then the missed Gutierrez field goal of 42. We mentioned Williams tonight with 109 yards rushing. He had 110 combined the last 2 weeks, 34 for 110. Had to score, has 109 and a TD tonight. That is his third 100-yard effort of the season. Had 126 against the team from Buffalo and 140 against Midland High, then the 109 here in the first half tonight. Well, the Broncos have been camping out right around this area the entire night to start drives, as they will start again from the 20, and 11:55 to play in the third quarter as we are beginning the third quarter of play.
Well, I'll tell you, Ken, right quick, Barry, both bands at halftime, outstanding, phenomenal jobs by both the kids, and let's give the band director some kudos as well. Both bands will be marching in the area contest. Of course, as you see this, that will already happen, but area is here tomorrow night, and Trey Smith is going to start the game at quarterback. Good luck to both bands, and absolutely fantastic work, kids. You are to be highly commended for your work this year on the field.
So Smith and Carrasco will be the starting tandem. Carrasco will get the carry. He's going to push it out to 12 yards on the first carry of the third quarter, out to the 32-yard line. He had I think it was a shoulder injury that kept him out early in the year, came back to run the ball against Tascosa, had 90 yards that night, got hurt again the next week against San Angelo. Only 5 carries for 6, but he is definitely a weapon that, along with Robinson, can provide some relief for this offense. Smith now will throw the ball. He's got Zay Brown, and Zay Brown's going to be wrestled down at the 40-yard line by Matt Jones, but not before he gets 9.
Good tackle there by the Panthers secondary there. Looked like Preston Ellison, also number 55, Matt Jones on the tackle. But not, as Barry said before, 9 yards. So the Bronco offense comes out, 2 plays, gets about 19 yards and a first down, and now they're short yardage here.
So Carrasco will get the first down, still on the move, out to the 47-yard line, forced out by Gore, or rather by Ben Vore, the back deep safety. And he's going to be pushed out at the 47, but not before the 6 yards enough to move the chain. So Trey Smith will get the start here in the second half, and of the two, seem to have more of a tune as far as throwing the ball in that first
little
half.
Energy in the offense as well, Barry. So see if they can keep this drive going now.
Yeah, they run into a man mountain there in the middle as Shy Arnold was back to disrupt things. Matt Jones lost his hat, puts it back on, but the Permian defense clamps down, but not before Carrasco can barrel through for a good gain of 3.
Little outside or inside linebacker blitz by the Panthers on first down there. Did get 3 yards out of it. Sidestepped a couple of those blitzing Panthers. And going to make this 2nd and 7 right from the 50-yard line.
Galindo and Caulfield, and they stack to the left. A couple of more receivers here to the right. Going to try to get the ball to Caulfield. It's too tall for him, and a dive by Galindo comes up short as well, so it's going to be second down.
Yeah, they had the slant open there, Barry. Just a high throw. I guarantee you he'd like to have that pass back and get it on the money because the slant was open. It would have been possibly for a first down. Just couldn't connect, and going to make this a 3rd and long for the Bronco offense.
No mulligans. Brown and Munoz here to the right. It's going to be 3rd. I said 2nd. Going to be 3rd and 7. Need to get down inside the Permian 45 for a first. They dump it. In fact, Smith just keeps the ball, and he's only going to get, actually loses 3, almost back to the original line of scrimmage, back to the 47.
Holding offense, number 56.
So I guess they'll take it?
No, because they didn't get the first down.
Yeah.
That is Chuck Alderson, our referee, again here tonight, making the call for us on the field. We'll get those officials announced here again here in just a moment. But the Broncos are going to have to punt from their own 47-yard line.
Well, Anastasio, 2 35-yard kicks, one of 37, one of 38. So He's doing a good job of booting the ball tonight, so Permian should come away around the 20-yard line. This one looks to be a little shorter. Going to come down to the 15. Did he touch it? I thought he touched it. Well, he may have. I think Permian did touch the ball. As Lopez was back there to field the punt. Shawner did come up with it at the 4-yard line, so Permian will start there.
Yeah, I'll tell you, he did a good job, number 5 did right there for the Panthers, of getting back there and getting on that ball, or Odessa High would have had first and goal at the 4-yard line. Shawner did a good job of being Mr. Johnny on the spot, or that would have been a big turnover to start this second half. But the Panthers are in business at their own 4-yard line.
Should be a heavy dose of Williams here in the early going. Going to hand it off to him. He's going to try to sweep left in. Does get to the 10-yard line. Going to be upended at the 13. Just got knocked over like a bowling pin by Houston. And a nice gain on first down.
Here's the replay coming from the south end zone. This is what we call the stretch play. What the offense wants to do is stretch the defense out and allow the back to find a hole. He just kept moving outside because there wasn't any there, and a nice job of running there for about an 8-yard gain.
Yep, only need a couple for the first down. Going to probably hand it off to him again. The little sophomore just kind of follows his mates out to the 17, and they will move the chains, and Permian will have a new set of downs to deal with.
Permian with a tight end in the game there on the right side of the formation. They just moved it in out that way, and Williams kept his feet moving up to the 18-yard line where the Panthers will have another set of downs. First and 10 from that point.
So Permian back with a 1st and 10 from that point, to use his wording, from the 17-yard line. Again, they're going to dial up Williams. Williams bidding for a career best tonight, as best as 140 yards of the now 3 games that he's been able to muster 100. This is going to be a gain of 8.
Just like the first down play on the last set of downs, they just stretched the defense out here to the sideline, and Williams kept running to daylight until he got that 8 yards. Actually, it's about 7, going to be 2nd and 3 from the 24-yard line.
You would be correct. 3 yards needed. Going to hand it off inside again, and again Williams going to get a big workout tonight. Houston will make the tackle, but not before the sophomore will push the ball out to the 29-yard line for another Permian first down. So they're coming off of their 4-yard line after the Anastasio punt and special teams blunder started them deep in their territory, and they just rode the little kid all the way out here.
Yeah, and they're just winning the line of scrimmage. We talked about that in the first half as well.
Going to throw it out to Hammond, who's going to lose some. They threw it behind the line of scrimmage. He made the catch, but then Anastasio came up and made the one-on-one tackle for a loss of about 4.
Yeah, Reed did a good job of reading that from his outside linebacker position. All he had to do was just move his feet and go parallel with Hammond. And once he made the catch and it was a little behind him, he just had to make the tackle. Good job by Reed Anastasio right there.
Hey, Larry, Hawkins doesn't have a catch tonight, does he? Number 13?
Let me look on the stat sheet.
Going to be Williams on this carry. Williams is going to be out to the 30, out to the 32.
He's got 1 for 10 according to this.
1 for 10, okay.
Robinson, the ball carrier.
So Robinson will be out to the 33-yard line. That's going to bring up a third and about 6?
Third and about 6, maybe almost 7 there. This is a big play for the Bronco defense. Get off the field here, make Permian punt, and get the ball back into the offense's hands and see if they can make something happen again. But this is a big 3rd and 7 play from the Panther 32-yard line.
Now they have Hawkins out wide to the right. They have Hammond here to the left. This looks to be a Steen keeping it kind of play if he doesn't throw it. He's going to roll out. He is going to keep it. He's going to have the first down. He gets out to the 41-yard line with that kind of a stutter to wait for the tackle, wait for the defense to make their play, and is able to get the yardage, 8 yards total, out to the 41-yard line. That was just a good, nifty bit of running.
And Tanner Houston would probably like to have that tackle lined up again, because he actually overran it to the Panther sideline. If he works inside out, he gets him out of bounds and he'll be short, but good job by Steve Steen there, as Barry said, to make it happen and get a first down.
Now that had a makings of a running play, but it's going to cost the Permian Panthers 5 yards because of delay of game.
Chuck Alderson is our referee. Ralph Santana again the umpire. Roy Jaramillo the head linesman. Gary Speed the line judge, and Jesse Mendoza is the back judge. The 5 guys working the game tonight as officials.
So they've got Wynn now here to the left, Hammond in the slot. They have Hawkins wide right, and they have Robinson in the right slot. Instead, they're going to keep it here. No, they're going to hand it off. Handed the ball off to Williams, who's going to get, well, maybe a yard. That's about it.
Yeah, they did a good job up front there of closing that running lane off, and did not get it in there at all. That was a good job by the Bronco defense for really only got about a 2-yard gain out of that.
Yeah, if that.
If that. So it'll be second and long. See if Permian decides to throw the ball here up the field.
Yeah, 13 is about what they need for the first down. Will he throw it? We'll see. Or will he flip it out to Hammond? He is going to throw it, looking right, has a man open, does have the receiver. It is Hammond, and Hammond will be out. Is there a flag on the play?
Well, Hunter Hawkins was running right down the middle of the field again by himself. A good pass and a good catch there on first down to pick up the first down, I should say. There's our Transglobal Productions instant replay. And you can't see Hunter running there in the middle of the field, but he was open too.
That was 19 yards on that one. Now running down the field, he has a man wide open and overshoots him. Al Hawkins was running free and wild as the wind, and they just could not connect on a 1st and 10 from the Bronco 44. It'll be second down.
That was a free play because
so this will be the 10th play that started back on the porch. Back on the 4-yard line. Well, I tell you, Kyle, he was wide open.
And that's why they took the shot downfield, Barry, because they had drawn the Bronco front off sides, and he puts a little air under that ball. It's another 6 points on the board for the Panthers.
So they're going to hand the ball to Williams here. No, he's going to keep it himself. Steen will keep it and runs into a wall there. Anastasio will put him on his backside. Going to get a pretty good gain out to the 36-yard line, so he picked up 3.
And let's see if Permian on second down decides to take a shot downfield with it being second and about 2. They've got really 3 downs to pick up 2 yards here.
Yep, 11th play of the drive. Need to get to the, 34-yard line for a first. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 1 after Williams could only get one of the 2.
Mason Sellers in at the linebacker position for the Broncos to help bring Williams down there for about a 2-yard gain and going to set up 3rd and really less than a yard at the Bronco 35, just over the 35, inside the 35-yard line.
Panthers have had the ball for more than 4 minutes, and now the 12th play. That just drives me nuts when they do the play like that where he does the hand signals, then everybody stops, looks to the sideline.
They make the call from the press box to decide to change it.
So they hand the ball off. They do not. Steen keeps it. He will have the first, gets spun around, and they're going to bring up a whole bunch of guys. Lamone grabbed him and spun him around, but not before Steve Steen will move the change for the Panther offense.
Kevin Majors, number 46, also in there to help make the tackle for the Broncos. Steve did a good job of reading the end and pulling the ball, keeping it himself around the end on the second option for the Panthers in their triple option offense and picking up another first down.
Steen's a pretty good leader, isn't he?
He really is, and he runs this offense. You know, Coach Felt talked about how his leadership has really improved as the year has gone on.
Oh, too much pressure. He's going to have to swing it out here left. Has a man open. He has Todrick, and Todrick is into the end zone. So Steve Steen made something out of nothing. Was able to keep his feet, keep his wits about him, spin from the right to the left. In so doing, what's the replay? Todrick Robinson got open, and Todd's in the end zone for his first varsity TD.
And the reason is, Barry, when Steve started coming this way to scramble, the Broncos secondary lost the assignment that they had down the sideline here. That's how Robinson was wide open.
You know, Todrick had no receptions before tonight, had that big reception down to the 2-yard line, leading to the 2-yard run by Williams. And now he gets into the end zone from 28 yards out with Steve Steen dialing him in perfectly. After the extra point, Jacob James throws it through the end. Jacob James kicked it through the upright for the extra point. Now with 4:45 to play in the third quarter, Panthers' new lead is at 28-0.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper. Yeah. You know, as long as it's been college football, there's been Dr. Pepper flowing through the stands.
Hey, man, dig this. I threw the first Hail Mary pass. Yeah, out of sight. Hey, fellas, I think there should be a college football playoff. Huh? Settle on the gridiron. You know, nothing goes better in the stands than Dr. Pepper, and I should know because I invented college football. The whole thing. Whoop, whoop.
And that's how Dr. Pepper became a college football tradition.
Good story, bro.
It's a great story. Let's go, Dr. Pepper, here.
High five. I invented that, too.
Our Trends Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Paul Evans Carpets and Diamond Pump and Transport. I'll give you the details in the drive in just a moment. So the Panthers now with a 28-0 lead will kick the ball away. Flag and brought out to the 25 or 30. That drive was 13 plays, took them just a bit more than 5 minutes. And to cover, do you remember how many yards?
96.
A 96-yard drive, 13 plays, 5:02. Steen to Robinson. Just mentioned a moment ago, Robinson's first varsity TD. First reception as well. And for Steen, his second passing touchdown of the night will be his 10th of the season. And the Panthers now have a pretty good lead at 28-0.
Yeah, and the Bronco offense now just needs some continuity right now. Put some plays together and see if they can get a drive with some points at the end of the drive and kind of build some momentum as the game goes on here.
Smith will be the quarterback again. He's going to keep it. Looking for Keevy to make a block for him. He's not going to get but just a couple. As Jones comes up to make the tackle along with Shy and some of the other guys also in there very quickly for Permian was, and my mind just went blank, Tanner Adams.
A design quarterback sweep to the right side, looking for that block. Didn't really get it. Good pursuit by the Panther defense for only a 1-yard gain.
So they have Keevy Robinson now in the backfield. Instead of Carrasco, going to be 2nd and 9. Will this be a Keevy run, you think?
Could be. Bring blitz. Bring pressure. Nope. A little quick out.
Yeah, they whip the ball out to Zay Brown. Zay Brown gets rode down like a rodeo calf. Going to be a gain of only about 3 to the 34-yard line and bring up a 6-down need on 3rd down.
Preston Ellison from the safety position read the out route. And if he'd have had a rope, maybe he'd have tried for the quick tie there. But as Barry's rodeo reference was made there, didn't have to, and made the tackle and did a good job from his safety position.
You know, when they put pressure on the quarterback, he's had a hard time trying to get loose to throw the ball. You think they'll pressure him here?
Well, they're right up the middle, and if he could have gotten the ball out to number 88 there for the Bronco offense, Zay Brown, that would have been a 1st down. I'm sure my English teacher probably from junior high wasn't real happy with that, but they brought pressure up the middle, Barry, from the inside linebackers. That forced Trey Smith to have to get rid of the ball early. Couldn't set his feet and get the ball to Brown. And the Broncos will have to punt again with Anastasio.
Now the Panther defense forcing their 4th 3 and out of the night against the Bulldog. I'll get the right mascot here in a second. Against the Bronco offense. Now Permian fielding the punt there at the 35 is on the move. Going to be to the 40. Going to be beyond that. Finally brought down to the 34-yard line as Hawkins making up for his earlier gaffe. Will return the punt a long distance out to the 34-yard line.
Good job of running right up the middle there by Hawkins. Found him a little crease and got on up the field. Good job by the Panther punt return team. Say that fast twice. And they're set up on the Bronco side of the 50 right at the 34-yard line.
Going to hand the ball off to Williams more than likely. Probably just ride him for a few plays here. They'll have Hammond and Hawkins. Here on the left-hand side, Todrick at the top right. Only have the 3 receivers. Have Hammond here in the left slot just off the tackle. Going to keep the ball. No, he handed the ball off to Williams, who gets a rude awakening and gets nothing. Yeah, the whole host of them got it.
All right. Whole host of Broncos. Tanner Houston coming off the bottom of that tackle. We've said his name a few times tonight on that Bronco defense. Good job inside by those guys for absolutely no gain.
It's a lot better if Anastasio, Houston, Lucio, and Lopez are making the tackles and not the defensive backfield.
That's right.
You know, early on it was McClure's name we were mentioning. Steen will keep it. Steen's going to be to the 20. Steen, if he gets a block, may go. Steen to the 5. Steen is into the end zone from 34 yards out.
And they just missed a couple of tackles there at the line of scrimmage and out on the edge. I'm talking about the Broncos. Watch it here, folks. Right outside, right there. If he comes inside out, and I'm talking about number 15 there for the Broncos, that's Colton Beard. If he comes inside out and wraps up and makes a tackle, he gets him there. Gives Steve Steen credit for making him miss and getting on up the sideline for another Panther touchdown.
That one comes from 34 yards out. It's a 2-play, 34-yard drive after the great punt return by Hawkins. And now the Jacob James extra point has put 35th point of the night on the board for Permian. 2.5 to play in the third quarter. It's been a Permian night tonight, 35-0.
During the National Flooring Sales Event at Paul Evans Carpet and Flooring, you can get beautiful new floors for your home today and have 36 interest-free months to pay. 36 months with no interest on beautiful new carpeting, hardwood, tile, and luxury vinyl is the best and biggest deal Paul Evans has ever offered. Hurry to Paul Evans Carpet and Flooring today, because when October ends, so does this incredible deal. Paul Evans Carpet and Flooring, under the huge Texas flag in downtown Odessa.
Try Texas Burger's new Banana Royale. You'll love it.
Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Texas Burger and by the Permian Basin area-wide phone book. Started the night at 81 degrees, 26% humidity. Southwest wind at 9. It's down to 76 degrees now, as the temperature may drop as low as 70 by the time this one's over. And boy, it's been a good night here at Ratliff Stadium, especially if you're wearing black and white.
It really is.
What I miss there, Larry?
It's not.
No.
No.
He's saying it's not 71 in here.
No.
Yeah, we could have brought a side of beef and it would have been safe the whole night. It's kind of chilly, but I'm glad to be inside. So now the kickoff is going to be, well, what else? Out next to the 20.
Good tackle, good coverage by the Panther kickoff team there to get the ball carrier down at the 21, and from there the Bronco offense has to start again. So yeah, it's kind of the same thing now. They've got to put some plays together, and this Panther defense is going to pin their ears back and come now, Barry, up 35-0. they're going to be head hunting right now, just looking for an opportunity to sack a quarterback if they want to throw the football here. So the Bronco offensive line needs to do its job and make some things happen up front.
So again, Smith will be the quarterback as they start from the 21. He hands the ball off to the running back, who gets a mouthful of Shy Arnold. And it's going to be a loss of 4 for Carrasco.
You can see also there coming on an inside middle linebacker blitz was Herb Anderson. Coach Vance Washington, the defensive coordinator at Odessa Permian High School, bringing some pressure off the edge and inside for a 2-yard loss there. They smelt that run and play out.
Boy, did they ever. So
Yep.
2nd and 12. Smith will have to throw it, looking right. Has a man open. Heck, can't quite connect. Galindo stopped running his route just for a second. And then that wink of an eye, ball was overthrown.
And you can bet if he'd have just, took his eyes to the ball and watched it with his hands and just tucked the ball away, he'd had a nice pickup, probably a first down there. They ran a little switch route down here at the bottom, and he came outside up the numbers. The outside receiver came in, little switch route, as I said. It was open, but just couldn't get it hauled in.
Caulfield and Galindo will be to the wide left. Brown and Munoz will be here to the near side. On the bottom of your screen, the single back now facing a 3rd and 12. Here comes the rush. Going to have to force him out. He's going to run it. He'll have the first. And a little bit more than that as quarterback is going to get it out to the 35-yard line. Smith with a good 16-yard run. Now, here's something that I didn't want to have to mention. Most points allowed in the season was back in 2013. In 12 games, the Broncos allowed 419. Well, with a 35 given up tonight, they have so far this season, with a game and a half left, have surrendered 431.
Let's give Trey Smith some credit on that last play for running when nothing was open. Got that first down, and now on first down, they try to run outside with Carrasco.
Just the growing pains, I think, of a first-year program as far as a new coach is concerned. But, I firmly believe that, and I think you agree with me on this, so does Larry, that 3 years from now, you're going to see a whole different team. It's going to take him 3 years, I think, to kind of get his system in. But they've got some good kids coming up. You've talked very highly of what the junior varsity's been able to do.
They have played very well this year, and they've got some sophomore talent as well and freshman talent that is really, really good. Things are going to look very good for the Broncos in the next couple of years. They have to build this program from the foundation up, and that's what this coaching staff will do. I know this coaching staff very well, most of them. Coached with them, coached alongside of them, and they are going to absolutely bring this Bronco program back up in the next couple of years.
Zay Brown on the intended target there, but he and Smith could not make the connection. Up there to make the play was Ellison, so he's going to face a 3rd down play. Looks like he made the catch. Did he make the catch? They say he did, yes. So Zay Brown did come up with it at the 46-yard line. Boy, he paid for it, but boy, he hung tough, didn't he?
Talk about looking it in and knowing you're going to take a shot. There it is right there. Preston Ellison on the hit, but give Brown credit for looking it in and holding it on and getting a Bronco first down. Absolutely outstanding effort by Zay Brown there.
That'll bring up a 1st and 10 for Permian, for Odessa High. Pablo Oliveras, by the way, is playing nose tackle at the moment in place of Dorian Rand. First down play is going to get a couple.
Tanner Adams on the tackle there for the Panthers, and that is going to bring the 3rd quarter to an end, Barry.
After 3, Permian 35, Broncos nothing.
As a busy mom, I'm always all over Odessa. Lucky for me, so is Medical Center Health System. So when the kids needed flu shots and sports physicals, the clinic at Walmart was my first stop. Then Mr. Fix-It hit his thumb with a hammer last weekend. Fortunately, urgent care was close by. The big baby. And it's nice to know that Family Health Clinic is always there with quality care and flexible pricing. Whenever I need them, wherever I am, Medical Center Health System has my family covered. They're my one source for health.
Texas Burger Ice Cream, the cool end to a great meal.
So Pablo Olivares, normally an offensive lineman, is positioned in at defensive nose guard for Permian in place of Rand, who had some injury issues earlier. Hopefully okay, though.
Probably
so
giving
now
him
as
some
we
play
begin,
time.
Say what?
Probably giving him some play time there, too.
So now, normally an offensive lineman, so we begin the fourth quarter of play with no gain on first down, so it's going to be 2nd and 10. Smith rolling to the right, does have a man open and almost picked off by Ellison. Ellison had it in his mitts, didn't think too highly of it and let it go.
Yeah, I bet you Preston would like to have that one back. He'd like to look that in as a receiver and tuck it in, because if he had, he could have turned up the numbers on the far side by the Permian sideline and pick up a block. He might have been gone to the races.
So now trailing by 5 scores, the Broncos face a 3rd and 10. Only the second play into the fourth quarter. Boy, this has been a quick-paced game as it's only about 9:30. As this play gets underway, Smith looking to the sideline, trying to decide what to do. He's got Caulfield here to the left.
Timeout. OHS. First team timeout.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper. You know, as long as it's been college football, there's been Dr. Pepper flowing through the stands.
Hey, man, dig this. I threw the first Hail Mary pass. Yeah, out of sight. Hey, fellas, I think there should be a college football playoff. Huh? Settle on the gridiron. You know, nothing goes better in the stands than Dr. Pepper, and I should know because I invented college football. The whole thing. Whoop, whoop.
And that's how Dr. Pepper became a college football tradition.
Good story, bro.
It's a great story. Let's go, Dr. Pepper, here.
High five. Hey, man, that too.
Our Trends Global Productions and Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by the Booster Clubs at Permian and Odessa. Thank you for being a part of what makes these broadcasts possible for us to do the Friday night broadcast. Now Smith on 3rd down and 10 has a man open down the left sideline. Again, too tall. Tried to get the ball again to Galindo and tried to hit Batman from San Angelo. He might have had a shot at that one, but probably nobody else.
Right.
And it falls incomplete. Batman, by the way, is 6'8".
Yeah, and my nephew, I just started saying my nephew is 6'7" at Odessa High playing basketball. He could have jumped up there and got it, but that's been about the only two.
And why does he not play football?
Well, because he likes basketball better.
I cannot even make a layup. I can make a putt, so that's good.
Cole's pretty good. They might be pretty decent. They might be really good in district this year. They've got a very talented squad at OHS for basketball.
And when I was younger, I did make a 57-yard field goal, so I could kick the ball, so that's good.
Was that the Tom Dempsey style or the soccer style?
It was the straight-on style.
The toe-punching style.
That's right. I cleared it by a good 1.5 feet.
How much wind did you have behind you?
Not much.
Wow.
So now Permian with a 35-0 lead. Let's see if they retain Steve Steen at quarterback or bring in Tyler Marquez and let him in his senior year to come out and get some PT against the crosstown rival. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Permian.
Steve Steen is still in at quarterback, and so is Ed Williams at the running back position.
So Ed Williams just needs a few yards to top his career best of 140. Instead, they go to Hammond, and the sophomore Justin Hammond's on the move. Hammond's going to be out to the 41-yard line before being upended by Beard. Or not by Beard, upended by John Navarrete out at the 41-yard line, but that's a good pick him up and put him down of 20.
That's a reverse to the slot receiver coming back from the far side to this side. OHS defense over-pursued, and a good gain for the Panthers up to the 41-yard line.
So Williams will get the carry here on 1st and 10 after that good gain by Hammond, and that's going to be about an 8-yard gain out to the 48-yard line.
Barry Mason Sellers just saved a touchdown for the Odessa High Broncos. If he doesn't get Williams by the shoestring or the heel there, Williams is bouncing out the left side and running up the sideline probably for a touchdown.
Well, he got 8, and 144 now for him unofficially will be his best of the season. Third 100-yard effort of the year, but this is the best of the bunch at 144. Had a 140-yard effort earlier. Now a second down and about close to 3. Roderick's going to go in motion. They're going to hand it off. No, they're going to pitch it back to Rod, and Rod's going to go backwards. They're going to get him at the 35, 45-yard line, and it's going to bring up a 4th down and 6.
That play was busted because of that right there. Williams bumping into Steen really threw off the timing of the play, and Steve pitched the ball out really behind Robinson. Got very fortunate that wasn't a turnover right there. It's going to be 3rd and about 6.
Need to get to just beyond midfield, close to the Bronco 49-yard line for a first. Going to hand the ball off to Williams, who is going to get pretty darn close to it. In fact, he's going to get to the 40-yard line. And the Panthers, who have shown a propensity, there's your word of the day, to go for it on 4th down. They're at midfield, and I think they'll go for it here.
Can you spell that for the spelling bee? I'm talking about propensity.
Yeah, Propensity.
Excellent.
So now it's going to be 4th and 1. Will Steen keep it? Will Steen hand it off? Will Steen throw it? That's the question of the night, huh?
They're gonna run the ball here, Barry.
Yeah, they've got
just
Williams.
changed the play from the sideline.
They've got Wynn and Hammond up there to the left. They're just going to block. Going to hand it off to Williams. No, Steen will keep it. Steen's on his feet. Steen is going to keep going. Steen may take it, folks. Steen may take it. Steen's down into the end zone. Into the end zone he will go from midfield. Was that a 50-yard run or a 60?
4th and short. It's a 50-yard run, and Steve made the right read, deciding to keep the ball. OHS had nobody to account for him out on the edge, and you saw right there on our Trans Global Productions instant replay, Steve Steen using his feet up the sideline to get on the board again for another Permian touchdown.
Only a minute and 24-second drive, and now on to try the extra point will be Jacob James. We'll be back to try the extra point after we take a break.
Ready for the best deal ever from Cable One? For a limited time, $25 gets you 100 megs. Really, $25? That's half price on high-speed internet. We've never offered you so much for so little. So call Cable One at 855-740-8971. 100 megs means reliable Wi-Fi and the best streaming on all your devices, all for just $25. But this half-price deal ends soon. So call and switch today. Cable One, the face of fast.
Your new Texas Burger is now open at 191 in Fodry in Odessa.
So very quickly back to play. That was I have no idea what they were doing, but Permian now with Jacob James will try to put on the 42nd point of the night. Tyler Marquez, the holder, for the left-footed kicker.
Good job of getting that snap down and giving the kicker the ability to add that extra point.
It is good. So with 9:14 to play in the ball game, our score 42-0.
When it comes to great food and good times, make it Rosa's Cafe. We've been making memories and friendships with fresh and delicious comfort food, Rosa style, for over 30 years. After all, life is better with Rosa's Cafe.
Well, Steve Steen unofficially tonight, we have him 13 for 136 and the 3 TDs. The 3 TDs equals a career best. He had that against Franklin and also against Midland High. But the 136 is a career best and his 5th 100-yard game of the season. Also for Permian, this is the, 3rd game in which they've had 2 100-yard rushers. The 50-yard run by Steen capped a 5-play, 79-yard drive in just a minute and a half, actually about 124. And the Broncos are going to be starting from deeper than what they normally start inside the 20.
And right now, and Larry's making the point here, and I think he's exactly right. Right now, you watch the kickoff coverage at Permian. They've got guys that are running free down the field. They're not even picked up, and that's that's something you're going to have to scheme and talk about as you go into your last game. You got to get some people picked up and give your return guys down deep a chance to get the ball out past the 25 or 30 yard line. Barry's made the point very well tonight that Odessa High has started very deep in their end tonight.
Well, deeper than normal here as they will start from the 15. Smith again will be the go at quarterback. And again, he's going to have Carrasco as his running mate, going to throw it on first down. Looking left, going to be picked off, could be taken back for a score. It will be returned for a pick six by Tyson Banks.
Well, Tyson just read the out route, and watching the eyes of Trey Smith there, here's our instant replay, Trans-Global instant replay, I should say. Watch, he's just reading that route, and they've been throwing the out a lot here, and Tyson just stepped in front of it and took the ball into the end zone for another Panther touchdown.
Well, the Panthers' third pick six of the season. They had a 59-yarder by Christian Schauner and an 85-yarder by Preston Ellison, both of those against El Paso Eastwood, which coincidentally, the only game in Permian history they've had two pick sixes in the same game. Now the Panthers, after the extra point by James, have put the 49th point of the game on the board with 9 minutes exactly to play in the ball game.
As a busy mom, I'm always all over Odessa. Lucky for me, so is Medical Center Health System. So when the kids needed flu shots and sports physicals, the clinic at Walmart was my first stop. Then Mr. Fix-It hit his thumb with a hammer last weekend. Fortunately, urgent care was close by. The big baby. And it's nice to know that Family Health Clinic is always there with quality care and flexible pricing. Whenever I need them, wherever I am, Medical Center Health System has my family covered. They're my one source for health.
Enjoy the best cheeseburger in town at Texas Burger.
Now the 49 points tonight's the most that Permian has put up against the Broncos in this storied rivalry. Since 2008, they had 54 that night, had 49 the year before in 2007. By the way, the last shutout by Permian came in back-to-back years in 1999 and 2000. They won 21-0 and 28-0. At Banks' interception return puts Permian on the board and 49-0. Now a little bit of a misplay by the kick return team may turn out better as they're going to get out to the 25-yard line. Going to be out beyond that to the 30. Nope, 28-yard line is where the return's going to be to, and they'll start there. Omar Loya on the return. And, hey, maybe that's what you need to do.
The blunder, I was just going to say, the blunder might actually have been a blessing, because when that happens, sometimes those kickoff coverage teams kind of relax and they think, oh, something's happening. And then from there, the returner can actually find a lane and get into it. And that's what happened there. He just ran into an open lane and got the ball out almost to the 30-yard line.
That's the second pick six by an opponent this year. Mason Montoya of Lubbock Coronado had a pick six earlier in the year. Now Webster will step back under center after the pick by Smith on a first down play. Webster will tuck it and run and get absolutely nowhere. He attracts a whole bunch of people, and they put him on his backside there at the 15-yard line.
That's Tanner Adams, number 47 there on the tackle. He just read the play and got into a gap and said, that's about as far as you're going here, fella. Good job by Tanner Adams right there.
Well, Steve Steen has had a hand in 5 touchdowns tonight. 2 touchdown passes, 3 touchdown runs of 10, 34, and 50. I'm kind of, very easily leaning which way I'm going for the player of the game tonight.
Here's what I'm going to say, Barry, as I've got an injury or something over here on the sideline.
Probably just a little cramp.
Yeah. I was going to say, if Steve Steen does not get some consideration for the all-district team at quarterback, we've seen some good quarterbacks now. A young man from Midland High and San Angelo are pretty good.
It's going to be hard to be voted in ahead of Vincent from Angelo. And
maybe an honorable mention might be.
Yeah, Nuskowicz with Midland. I mean, those are by far the top two. But, yeah, I mean, he should be in the conversation, especially for at least honorable mention. And I'm not sure. I mean, right now, who would you? That's going to be an incomplete pass, bring up third down. There is a flag, however. I mean, right now, from what we've seen, who is the most valuable offensive player?
Tonight in this game?
No. I'm talking about for the league.
For the league?
Yeah.
I think as Gunzowitz or whatever his name is, quarterback A. I'm just going to say quarterback A to Z.
Okay.
I think quarterback.
Defense. First down.
I think quarterback A to Z is the best one I've seen right now. He threw the ball very well against Permian when we had him out here a couple weeks ago. The young man from San Angelo's good. If I had to pick, I would pick as the number one quarterback in our district, quarterback A to Z from Midland High.
Yeah, Nuskowicz had 6 touchdowns against Permian, 357 yards. Yep, that would be my pick. Defensively, that's a little tougher to pick the defensive most valuable player, but I tell you, those Permian linebackers, Banks and Anderson, I mean, they ought to get some consideration.
And Jones, absolutely.
Yep, and defensively, I think for the Broncos, probably the name that sticks out to me the most is going to be probably Tanner Houston.
Yep.
He's just been all over the place, game in and game out. Aaron Ochoa.
Reed Anastasio's been very active for the Broncos defensively this year as well. I think those guys will make it. If not first or second team, you've definitely got to talk about honorable mention for some of those players you just talked about, because they have played very well for both of their teams this year.
Nathan Lavario in at running back this series, by the way, number 22. Now a second down play for the Broncos. Here comes a lot of pressure. Webster cannot escape it. Is up there to make the tackle very quickly is going to be Orion Farley.
Shy Arnold there as well. Make the play as well. Now it's going to be 3rd and 13, and as Permian defense has been on attack mode for the most part tonight, Barry.
Farley had a team-leading 3 sacks coming into tonight, adds to his total. He's certainly been a force up front. Will certainly be putting his vote in for a defensive player position. Caulfield's going to get the pass play here.
Ooh.
And Ademi tried to make the tackle high, wasn't able to do so, but he is able to finally muster enough to get him down before he gets the first down.
Well, he's actually about 4 yards short, 3 yards short of the first down. You saw our instant replay there. He just worked his way up. Well, I'll tell you, there's some aggressiveness going on from both sides right now still with 6:53. The score is indicative of the pride these kids are playing for themselves and their school.
Broncos are going to go for it on 4th down.
Why not?
Yep, completing, they were 8 of 23 on 4th down before play tonight. They need 2. Webster's going to throw it here, has a man open, and he does finally connect with the receiver. Ademi does make the tackle on Galindo, but not before. Galindo is able to muster enough yardage to move the chains, and the Broncos are on the move with a 1st and 10 from the 43.
Good route, good throw there, and let's give a good tackle as well. All 3 of those young men executed very well for their teams, but the Broncos continue this drive at the Panther 43-yard line.
Yep, 9 yards on that one, on the connection between Webster and his receiver. Now it's going to be 1st and 10. Oh, just barely over the hands of Banks, who might have got a second one there, but it falls incomplete.
Shy Arnold came from the defensive end position and almost got to Webster, made him throw that ball maybe a little bit beforehand, but as you said, and it was absolutely the right thing as far as when Tyson Banks got underneath coverage and he had help over the top. That would have been a tight throw.
The Broncos are going to hand it off to Nathan Lavario, who's going to get a couple of yards before they snuff him out at the 41.
A whole host of Panthers there, led by Matt Jones again from his linebacker position. 51 also as well, Orion Farley out there. 3 or 4 Panthers showing good pursuit, good angles to the football for that tackle.
Lavario had 34 carries for 133, did not have an attempt last week, his first of the night here. Now going to be a 3rd down and 9 needed by the Broncos. Clock is ticking down inside the 5:40 mark. Going to whip it out to a safety valve receiver. Going to be close to what he needs for the first. That is Galindo on the receiving end.
Tanner Adams on the tackle there as well for the Panthers.
Galindo had 3 catches before tonight, has had several this evening. Let's check with Larry and see how many. So up to the 34-yard line, we'll bring up a 4th and 1. You're going to simply just try to push it ahead.
They get it? I believe there's going to be, yep, they're going to give them a first down.
Yeah, they've targeted him. They've targeted Galindo 8 times tonight. So they certainly have him in the game plan. The first down is going to be at the 32-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Broncos.
Good job there, keeping this drive alive.
So now the Broncos from the Permian 32-yard line. Webster looking to throw, going to be flush from the pocket left, going to have to run it. And he's going to be down the sideline and out at about the 24-yard line.
Good job by a quarterback there, as you said, to keep his legs free and moving. Didn't force a ball into coverage. Got outside here. Good first down for the Bronco offense with 4:28 and the clock running.
Now they got down to the 17-yard line at the tail end of the first half. Could not convert the field goal, so the second best penetration of the night for this Bronco offense, down to the 22-yard line. Going to be 1st and 10. Permian wanting to protect the goose egg, and the Broncos wanting to get on the board, but boy, he just gets swallowed up by the Panther defense led by Matt Jones and Tyson Banks.
Coming from the outside linebacker position, which would tell you it was an outside linebacker blitz, and they met right where Chase was. That's bad for Chase and good for the Panther defense.
Yeah, not good if you're a quarterback.
No.
So it's going to be 2nd and quite a bit. They need 16 now.
Here it comes again.
On 2nd down, here comes the rush again, and he just flat has to get rid of it. Going to bring up a 3rd down.
They tried to set up a screen there. Odessa High did to the running back, number 22, Nathan Lavario. Permian read it very well. Here it is, Barry. Watch. They're going to let the lineman come on in. Unfortunately, Tanner Adams, number 47, again, we're calling his name, read that perfectly and busted that play up. Now it'll be 3rd and about 15 or 16.
You know, this 14-play drive is the longest as far as number of plays goes tonight for the Broncos. Now the receiver and the defensive back just hugging one another. They try to get the ball to Caulfield. Ademi was on the defense, but there is a flag on the play, so maybe Ademi was trying to do some dancing with the stars and got caught.
And that is going to be the call down here, a defensive holding on him, so that'll move the ball down into the
14.
Going to actually be about this 17 or 18-yard line, 18-yard line.
Down.
We got to start thinking about some MVPs here, Barry.
Well, offensively for Permian, I have an idea. Defensively, I'll come up with a name or two, and offensively for the Broncos, I have an idea as well.
Why don't we do that after this play?
Okay, we'll start with the defensive players. Now this pass by Webster is going to be down inside the Permian 10-yard line as Caulfield will come up with it. And that should be
that's Caulfield there, and there's Anderson again from the Panthers on the. I'm going to go Permian defensive MVP, number 95, Shy Arnold. I think he's had an excellent game tonight at defensive end. Made some plays, especially in the backfield. I think he's made a difference up front for them tonight.
And what do you think for the Broncos?
You're right. Yep, as they bat the ball down there. I'm going to go with number 20, Charles McClure. He made some big plays.
Who do you think knocked the ball down there?
Yeah.
Arnold.
On cue. Thank you, Shy. Made me look really good, buddy. Charles McClure made some big tackles, especially early in the game in the secondary. I thought he had an excellent game from that position tonight. Number 20, Charles McClure, would be my choice for the Odessa MVP defensively tonight.
So Arnold, McClure, Permian Odessa High Defensive Players of the Game, presented by Dr. Pepper. Congratulations to both of them. I'll get to the offense here in just a minute. So Webster will throw the ball very quickly into the end zone for Caulfield. He was defended back there by Schauner, but the ball really had no chance. We'll bring up a third down.
All right, offensive MVPs. Let's hear it.
Well, offensively for Permian, I'm going to say Steve Steen.
Yep.
Steve Steen had a hand in 5 touchdowns tonight, 2 throwing, 3 running. Had over 136 yards of rushing. I'll check his passing stats in just a moment. Last I looked, he had 114 yards passing. Going to try to get the ball out to Galindo, and it's going to fall incomplete and bring up a 4th down.
Let's see if the Broncos can get the ball in the end zone here. Go ahead with your offensive MVP.
As soon as Larry marks this, I'll give you the numbers.
Okay.
So Steen, unofficially, with 136 yards and 3 rushing scores, 7 of 8 for 114 passing, and I'll give you the Odessa player of the game in just a moment. So now 4th down and goal from the 7.5-yard line. The Broncos want to get on the board. Simply tosses up for Caulfield. Incomplete out the back of the end zone, but I think there was a
5-yard penalty.
There was a stoppage of play, too much time before. So they get to redo 4th down, 4th and goal from the 13. This drive, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 plays. From back on the 28, they got the ball at the 8:47 mark of the quarter. They've had the ball for 6 minutes exactly, and now are facing a 4th and goal from the 13. Very quickly looking to the right, threw it before the receiver could look for it, and it's not going to be completed, as Galindo was the intended target, but Ademi had switched sides and defended the ball perfectly, and it falls incomplete. So let me look at Larry's totals here in a second. As far as offensively for Odessa High goes, Robinson only carried the ball 5 times for 12 yards tonight. Carrasco had 23 yards rushing. Smith 17. But I'm going to go with Trey Smith. I think Trey Smith showed a spark to the offense when they desperately needed it. He had the 17 yards rushing on the 6 attempts and threw the ball very effectively. I thought he had some pretty good zip on the ball. And so we're going to give him the offensive most valuable player, presented by Dr. Pepper for Odessa High.
It's a good pick, Barry. I think you're exactly right. Trey did add a little spark that drive right at the end of the first half. Threw some great passes. He's run the ball at times very well tonight, and I think he can build on this as they go into next week and certainly into the offseason and ready in for the 2017 football season.
So Tyler Marquez is the quarterback. He hands the ball off to Cade Davis, number 38. That'll be Davis's first carry of the season. He was brought up from the junior varsity a couple of games ago. They push the ball out to the 24-yard line for a 1st down. And Permian now with under 2 minutes to play and the ball, and they lead at 49-0. We'll have a 1st and 10. Also in the ball game, split out wide to the left is Cody Wood. Did you see who the wide receiver here is to the right? That is Devin Graham. And a few other players also as well. Marquez is going to keep it. Going to be out beyond the 40, still on his feet. Finally gets taken down to the 46-yard line for a gain of 22.
Well, you read that very well. As you can see on our Trans Global Productions instant replay, the end crashed. So he pulled it, came back outside, and got up the sideline to the 47-yard line of Permian.
Well, he only had 1 carry before that one for the season of 7 yards. That one's going to go for 23 yards. Permian out near midfield will have the 1st down play, hands the ball off inside, but they apparently a flag before.
Number 3, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
So Todrick call for the foul is going to move it back to the 42. It's going to be 1st and 10 from there, 107. So let's ask about, let me have your thoughts. First of all, let's talk about Odessa High.
Well, I think tonight, Barry, they've just, we saw some sparks of really good play here and there tonight. They've got to learn and I think develop some consistency on both sides of the ball. As the young man is off to the races here, he may be gone up the sideline to the 20, the 15, down to the 11. Boy, he almost broke it right there. Good execution on the left side there. Here's our replay. Look, they just won the line of scrimmage and gave him a hole to run through right there. Man, here he was. Man, he really, you can see he was looking at that pylon wanting to get in the end zone, wasn't he?
Now, that's a 30-yard run by Cade Davis. Before that, Larry had pointed out Permian had 75 yards in penalties tonight. They had only 15, one penalty last week. Marquez will keep the ball here, and we're down to the final 15 seconds.
And Odessa Highbury, to finish my thought, they've had some good things happen tonight in spots, but they've got to develop some consistency and just build on developing this program from here on out. For Permian, they dominated the line of scrimmage tonight. That was the difference in the game. They executed there. Steve Steen had a great night, as you said, throwing and running the football, and they're going to let the clock run out and call this a ball game.
Well, as you can see by the shot here, the game has come to a conclusion. We had an injury on the field. The officials elected to run the clock, let the final 10 seconds run off, and Permian has won the ball game tonight by a final 49-0. Our game has been produced and directed by Bob Bailey, Debbie Bailey, the replay director, Charlie Pierce and Isaac Rivas, our camera operators, Grant Barrage in the north end zone, Robert Carrillo in the south end zone, Pete Delgado, John Delgado, our grips. For Kyle Hubbard and Larry Thornhill, Barry Sykes saying thank you for being with us. Next week, the Odessa Broncos wrap up their season in Midland, and with a record of 0-9, need to come up with a victory next week in order to not be the first team to not win a game since way back in 1967 and 1970. So the Broncos cheering for you next week. Panthers wrap up their season here next week against Midland Lee here at Ratliff. So thanks for being with us, and we'll try it one more time next Friday night.